Book of Heaven. Volume 10. The 2nd of November to the 21st of December 1911. Page 49 to 53. November 2nd, 1911. Jesus gives her a heart of light, and tells her to do everything by means of that heart. Continuing in my usual state, blessed Jesus came for just a little, and as I lamented to him because he was coming only in passing and did not give me time to tell him anything about the so many needs that exist, with the addition that when he comes, now he clasps me tightly, now he transforms me so much within his will as to leave me not even a little space to be able to plead for his creatures. Jesus told me, "My daughter, you always want to know it. I tell you, things will be grave, extremely grave, and this is the whole reason, and if I placed myself in intimacy with you, you would bind me and would come up with something of yours. Rather, you must have patience, and let me bind you for now." Then he took a heart of light and placed it in my interior, adding, "You will love, you will speak, you will think, you will repair, you will do everything by means of this heart." November 18, 1911. What true crucifixion consists of. The exterior crucifixion lasted only 3 hours, but the crucifixion of all the particles of his being, and the crucifixion of his human will in the will of the Father lasted for his whole life. As I was lamenting to Jesus because of his privations, especially in these days, and because he does not even let me see anything anymore, blessed Jesus told me, "My daughter, I am here in your heart, and if I no longer let you see anything it is because I have left the world to the mercy of itself. And since I have withdrawn from it, I have withdrawn you also. This is why you do not see what is happening in these days, but for you I am always intent on watching and listening to what you want." Have you perhaps asked me for anything? Have you been in need of my teachings and I have not paid attention to you? On the contrary, I am assisting you so much, that I have placed you in the condition of feeling need for nothing. Your only need is my will, and that the consummation of love be accomplished in you. My will is like a spring, and the more the soul penetrates into my will, the more this spring of my will extends, and the soul takes greater part in all of my goods. So, in this period of your life I want you all intent on forming the perfect consummation of yourself in love. And but, sweet love of mine, I am very concerned about my current state. My love, what a change! And you know it, also suffering has run away, it seems it is afraid to come to me. Is this not a dismal sign? And Jesus, what you are saying is false, my daughter. If I did not keep you as though bound, you would get up. What is the meaning of your not being able to move by yourself? Of needing others in your things? Is this not a sign that I keep you bound? Having released you from the bonds of my presence, my love uses different devices to keep you bound with me. You must know that true crucifixion does not consist of being crucified in your hands and feet, but in all the particles of your soul and body. Therefore, I keep you more crucified now than before. How long did the exterior crucifixion of my hands and feet last? Only 3 hours. But the crucifixion of all the particles of my being, and the crucifixion of my will in the will of the Father lasted for my whole life. Don't you want to imitate me in this too? Ah! If I really wanted to release you, you would be fine, as if you had not been in bed even for 1 day. However, I promise you that I will come back soon. December 14, 1911. The word of Jesus is sun. It nourishes the mind, and satiates the heart with love. I continue my most bitter days, though resigned to the will of God. My always lovable Jesus, if he makes himself seen, is always afflicted and taciturn. It seems he no longer wants to pay attention to me in anything. This morning, making himself seen, he put 2 earrings on my ears, so shining as to look like 2 suns. Then he told me, "My beloved daughter, for one who is all intent on listening to me, my word is sun, which not only delights the hearing, but nourishes the mind and satiates the heart with me and with my love." Ah! They don't want to understand that all my intent is to have all of you intent within me, without paying attention to anything else. Look at her, pointing at someone, with her way of scrutinizing everything. She pays attention to everything. she is affected by everything, up to the excesses, and even in holy things. This is nothing but a living outside of me, and one who lives outside of me, by necessity feels herself very much. She thinks she does honor to me, but it is the opposite. December 21, 1911. The divine will is Son, and one who lives in the divine will becomes Son. As I was in my usual state, blessed Jesus came for a little while, and placing himself in front of me, he looked at me all over. Those gazes penetrated me inside and out, and I became all light. And the more he looked at me, the more I sparkled, and through this light he looked at the whole world. Then, after fixing on me thoroughly, he told me, "My daughter, my will is Son, and one who lives in my volition becomes Son, and only through this Son do I look at the world and pour graces and benefits for the good of all. If there wasn't this Son of my will in a few souls, the earth would become foreign to me, and I would sever any communication between the earth and heaven. So, the soul who does my will perfectly is like sun in the world, with this difference, that the material sun does good, giving light and material good, while the Son of my will in the soul impetrates both spiritual and temporal graces, and gives light to the souls. My daughter, let my will be that which you cherish the most. May my will be your life, your all, even in the holiest things, and even in my very privation. You certainly will not give me this sorrow of moving away from my will, even for just a little, will you?" I remained enchanted, and he disappeared. And I am thinking to myself, what do these words of Jesus mean? Oh, maybe he wants to do something big to me, that is, to deprive me of him. Ah, may his most holy will be always blessed and adored.